Well, looks like we're live here with podcast tonight on this Thursday for Christmas. So we're going to be waiting for some people here to join up. Let's see now. G.REED will be coming here pretty soon. I know I told him to come in here and join up. And then Antonio with his thing, he's going to be a little bit late. He's going to come in a little later. He's got family, it's still Christmas. So that's going to be a little bit later for him. So anyway, until that's beginning, we're going to just wait. Okay, I'm going to do something. I'm trying to upload one of my vlogs here, but it's not going to really cooperate right now. So it's not really going good with the podcast here, which is making it really sucky. So we're live on YouTube. We are live on the Podcast Tonight website and my Facebook page. I do have a Facebook page, and we are live on there too. So you guys can go ahead, head and check that out. I'm gonna start this pretty quick. Okay, Curtis. All right, I'm trying to find where G.REED's at. I know G.REED he said he'd join in, so he can come in and join anytime. Just still waiting for him to come in because he's gonna talk for a little while, and him and I are gonna wait, until Tony comes in. He's got to make his big return, so he needs to do something. I'm trying to copy something that's being a piece of junk. Well, I had a pretty good Christmas today. I hope everyone else enjoyed their Christmas as much as I did. I got actually this microphone I'm talking in right now, which is pretty cool. I actually do like this microphone. It seems to work a lot. I think this microphone actually is a big helper because I do have the headset on, as well as this giant microphone, which is okay. So it actually looks like a real studio microphone that I have it on, and actually I can have two headphones or two headsets. So I plug up my I have two Turtle Beach headsets. I can plug them up to this this thing here, and I can have two of them, and I can have two people they're talking to each other through two headsets, which is pretty cool. So okay, we're gonna just close out one of those things. I'm going to save something. It's my Christmas vlog I'm saving here. So, okay. All right, that's going to save. Close that out. Well, so usually on Christmas, my mom makes this special dinner, which is she makes French toast casserole, which is really good. I'm going to try this camera thing, see if it'll work. Oh, God, please work. Oh, there is Curtis Reed. Thank you, Curtis Reed, for coming in. I'm hoping you can hear me well. Camera is being a big pain in the ass right now.
I can hear you.
So what's up?
Not much. I was watching NXT.
So what happened? What happened to that NXT? Anything good?
Nothing. It was a replay thing. They didn't do anything because of Christmas, so they filmed it earlier in the week.
So SmackDown.
Yeah. Well, NXT's already filmed, except for
it is.
Shows. Their live shows, their big shows that they do, like NXT Takeover, all those shows are live. They do those shows live. It's the other NXT shows that they do are not live.
Oh, because every time I always, do that, they always show the show is live. That's what.
It's not.
I don't know why.
There was a leaked video of Finn Balor's debut on. Someone had posted a picture from NXT of Finn Balor making his debut on one of the NXT shows, and he hadn't even debuted yet.
Well, that's pretty neat. You know, isn't he the guy with all that like face paint on him and stuff?
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So, well, we're still waiting for Antonio here, guys. He's got, like I said earlier, he's got family stuff. You know, that's kind of a thing, and he said he wasn't feeling too good, but he said he'd be up to he'd still be up to do this. So I'm just gonna text him, let him know. So is that Minecraft or something?
Ariel's playing Minecraft.
Oh, she's playing some Minecraft?
Yep.
Yeah. It's a popular game on
I was gonna play some. I was gonna play some
PCs.
baseball. I was gonna play some baseball, but it's freezing up on me. So.
What's the new baseball game?
No, not the new one. The new one doesn't come out until March.
Oh. Gotcha.
I'm playing 2014 version, and it's not. It's not loading.
It's not?
It keeps freezing up. So.
Huh. Well, that stinks. Well, I was looking up some videos earlier. I was gonna wait until all of us were all here. I wonder if I can do a screen share. I wonder if they'll let me do a screen share since you're in here.
You can't really see me. My I don't have the.
I can see I can see your head. I know when it comes. I can see your head. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't have the. I don't have the light on.
Oh. Let me see if it'll screen share. I don't know if it will, but I can give it a shot. Doesn't seem like it's really working.
Hold on, Ariel, can you turn the light on? That works. That's better.
Okay, that's good. That's a lot better. That's a lot better right there. That'll do. Huh. Screen share usually works. I don't know, man.
It's not working for you.
I wonder why. It worked before.
Well, before we get started, I'm gonna keep watching NXT until you're ready to go.
Go right ahead. You can watch the NXT and let's see what I'm gonna do for a little bit. You know, see what we can get things rolling. Let's see what I want to do.
Possibly, I'll do some research. I may be able to find this spot. Now's not the time. If you want to talk to me, suggest make an appointment.
What the heck was that?
Sasha Banks versus Charlotte.
Well, that's a good matchup.
There's a rematch. It's over.
1, 2, 3. Ring that bell, ref.
They have a new Monday Night Wars.
Oh, they did. They're
Yep.
kind of running. They're kind of. I always think they're kind of running out of ideas out of this Monday Night War because
Keep going with this Monday Night War. There's so many things that they've done. They're doing a Mankind one,
yeah, I did see that.
but they already did a Mankind one called Have a Nice. They did a Have a Nice Day one, but apparently they're doing a different one.
Huh.
Like they started with The War Begins, then they did NWO, then when they finally decided to embrace the attitude, then they did Degeneration,
Right.
then they did Mick Foley's Have a Nice Day, then they did the Montreal Screwjob, then they brought in ECW, then they talked about Austin, then they talked about the Cruiserweights,
Yep.
then about Goldberg, then about Chris Jericho, then The Rock, then the Divas, then the bringing in celebrities as Mike Tyson. Then they did Sting and Undertaker. Then they did Building an Army, which was bringing in people from both sides of the company. So like when Big Show first came in. Then they did the Click, and now the next one is Eric Bischoff and how he not only tried to build WCW, but he also destroyed it.
Yeah, he did a lot of things with the the WCW and I was watching this old clip from it. I have like this raw set of DVD of like the Monday Night Wars from like 1993 until like 2007 like and everything and include like every superstar like Stone Cold, John Cena, The Rock, McMahon, all those guys and they actually have the thing with the Norfolk what DX did when they were going to the WCW and they're knocking on the garage door and everything. So did you get everything you wanted for Christmas this year? Because I know I did.
Christmas isn't over yet.
That's right. Me and you have one more Christmas. Don't we? We have one more left.
Mm-hmm.
So what did you ask for from Grandma and stuff? Anything good?
Just stuff I needed.
Stuff I needed? Like pants or something?
Yeah.
Excuse me. But hopefully by when we next time. I'm doing a countdown to 2015 thing next week. Hopefully he should be around by next week. If you want to be part of it, that's fine. And if you're busy, and I know you probably want to do something with Darren. Maybe I don't know what your plans are. Yeah, you should switch to off right there. I mean, that would probably help. That's what I'm doing because it helps with me.
What?
Having just your picture, it helps because that's why I keep trying to put myself up there, but it's not. My camera's acting like a piece of junk, so I just forget it.
All right, hold on 1 second. I'll come back in a second.
All right, take your time. I'll just continue the show. Excuse me. All right. Well, it seems like Kurt Reed has left. I did a interview with him earlier. Trying to think of what it present to everyone. Yeah. Trying to do this thing here. Screen. I'm trying to do my screen share, but like for some reason it's not really seem like it's working exactly right. I don't know exactly what the thing is wrong here, but I know we didn't do anything for the first few minutes. I know that's probably kind of boring, but I'm trying to light up the show because I know it's Christmas and it's Christmas was Christmas went by really fast today, and I know most people believe in Santa Claus and everything else, and Santa Claus with his entire sleigh reindeer he's got on his thing, and with his uh trying to like whatever he's doing, but I don't know. Well, I'm looking at my website here. I wish I could take a picture, but wait a minute, I'm gonna try something first. I don't know if it'll let me take a picture of my website. Excuse me. Okay. Well, we do have a Q&A on, so anyone wants to ask any questions, it's go time. So this is also live on YouTube as well. So if people aren't sure where they can find this, it's live on YouTube, Facebook, here on Google Plus, and my website. So it's on in like 4 places, which is pretty cool. I'm just looking at some few apps here. They got some pretty good apps on this, Google Plus thing when you can to do this. I'm looking at the cameraman settings thing here. Well, this cameraman thing doesn't seem like I don't know what it's supposed to even be doing. If you can hear snoring in the background, that's my dad. You don't need to pay much attention to that. It's okay. I'm trying to think of something I can do here real quick. I wish I could do a screen share without having to have more than one person in here, which stinks. They are not muted when they join in. They are not muted, which is good. It says I got a camera on here somewhere. I just don't know where it is. It's showing that I got one. I just don't know where this camera thing is at. Just checking out a few things here, see what some of this stuff says. I noticed on my last podcast I have like 28 views on it, which is really good. So I really appreciate the people who have taken the time to watch my shows here. I know I do this for an hour, but I know for the first part of the show is usually pretty boring and everything, but I tried to make it best as I can for most people who can watch the show, which is what I want. So Excuse me. Checking out just a few apps here, see what they got. Just turned off your camera. Nope. Maybe pull it up a little more. Maybe you can understand what I'm doing. Well, here's kind of something interesting I wanted to tell some of you guys. I have a cousin that lives up in Michigan. I think he's going to move like to Virginia or something. I don't know what the whole thing is there, but if you ever seen that movie that came back, I think last year or 2012 or something, it's called the Ides of March. And my cousin actually did have like a small / big role in it. He was playing like I can't think of what it is. It's one of those like pipe things like churches. One of the orchestra things or whatever they call those orchestra. Those I wouldn't call it a chord. I wouldn't call it an accordion, but it's one of those things that that are just one of those things. I can't think of what that. They'll probably come back later in the show, but it's alright. I don't have to remember everything right away. So, excuse me. I just can't believe the year is almost over. 2015 is just like right on the corner. It's like I can't believe 2015 is, it's right around the corner. And, we got to start, setting our goals and everything else because I know most people usually have a goal or two set in, 2015 and everything, which is, I set with myself too, which is okay. And you have a goal set for yourself. I mean, you really got to actually put your mind and you got to put your, heart and soul into it because, when you have a goal and you have when you got a goal and you have something you want to work towards too. I mean, you want to really, put yourself in that position of that goal mind. So it's not like it rides in like various ways of having goals, and I have goals too, and I set some goals this past year. I don't remember exactly what I put, but I remember actually having a lot of really pretty good goals for my for 2014, and I've had a lot of improvement moments in 2014, and when 2014 came around, I realized that I had a good I had a good memory. I had some good times and good memories, it's like 2015 is it's here, and when I realize 2015 is around,
okay, I'm back.
we're really gonna be in some deep trouble if we don't if you don't set the right stuff for yourself for the next year, because a lot of people always have a goal to lose weight or a goal to maybe to be more socially active or however it works with everything like that. So, but Curtis came back, so let's see. It's kind of a white box. That's what it shows at the moment, but it's probably just loading. I can hear that some of that Minecraft in the back.
Yeah, sorry for that.
No, that's not a problem. Not a problem. You probably can hear Dad sleeping and sewing in the background. So.
I think we're gonna go out for breakfast tomorrow morning.
You guys are?
Well, I told Dad I was thinking about going out for breakfast tomorrow morning.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh. I see you're trying to load. I just saw your face a second ago. I see you're trying to load up. Excuse me.
I'm gonna watch a pay-per-view.
Which pay-per-view are you gonna watch?
ECW's Guilty as Charged 99.
Any What kind of matches happened in that pay-per-view?
Let's see. In this one, Shane Douglas defends the title against Taz. Justin Credible takes on Tommy Dreamer in her Stairway to Hell. Rob Van Dam defends the ECW TV title against Lance Storm. The Dudley Boys take on New Jack and Spike Dudley. And Tajiri battles Super Crazy in an Aerial Classic.
Wow, that sounds like a pretty good show. Heck, I'd like to watch that show myself.
ECW put on some great shows.
They have?
Yeah.
They used to. I remember just watching ECW in 2006. Whenever when it was pretty good actually.
That's not ECW. That's
so what was it? WWE.
That's WWE's version of ECW.
That was some pretty fake stuff of ECW.
WWE ruined ECW. When you watch that Paul Heyman DVD, you will hear Paul Heyman say, basically, when WWE took over the ECW brand, tried to revamp ECW, it was not ECW.
And it's not ECW because they took it off the market because it was just and it just wasn't. I guess
if Paul Heyman ran ECW the way he wanted it to, the way his vision was, it would have been completely different.
Really? I might close out the Facebook thing here. It's kind of, I don't want to make much laggy. I just log out. Curtis, I'm actually surprised for one thing here. How the weather is actually, been cooperating with it. It's not that bad. It's, I'm actually kind of, quite thankful for what the weather actually has been doing lately.
Guess what?
Yo.
Say hi, Ariel.
Curtis, you got such a white screen, bro.
I got a what?
Your screen's like so white, I swear to God. Oh, I can see it over here, it's like so white. It's like so white, I swear to God. I got one squeaky chair. I need a new chair, man.
So when are you starting this podcast?
Well, aren't we really just starting now?
Have you started recording?
Yeah, I've started recording. I've been recording for a little while.
Much of a podcast.
Well, if you like, I can start over.
No, you need to do something different.
Like, what do you mean?
Well, where's Antonio at?
He's not around.
He wants to do this, so why isn't he here?
He's at a party.
Well, you need to do something.
I'm trying to think of something I can do, though. I'm trying to think of what I can do right now.
Be prepared.
Well, oh, by the way, you have your son's title still over here, so.
My what?
Jason's title still over here.
Oh, yeah, I know. Okay, I forgot about that. Like, if we go out to eat tomorrow morning, we'll get it. Just bring it with.
That's fine.
I don't know if I want to go out to eat, though.
Why, did Dad say something?
No.
No? How you doing today, Gary Busey? I'm doing good.
I don't know how well it'll react to me, but I wouldn't mind some IHOP.
IHOP?
I know Ariel would like IHOP, but
You remember our story from IHOP? That weird guy at the store or at the restaurant. Pat, he said 3 for Gary.
go to IHOP or go to Denny's.
Hey, we should take Denny with us. Maybe we get a free meal.
Denny's is over in LaSalle.
That's the sound of the championship.
Don't ruin it.
No, I'm not ruining. I'm just holding. I got it on my shoulder. Cause I'm a champion.
All right. Well, start this podcast. What the heck you doing?
Well, have been talking about some things before you came here anyway.
All right. What were we talking about?
Well, we can talk about how about we get into. I know we did your interview earlier tonight, and so anyway, let's get this show on the road for being a champion. Here we go. Okay, put this title down. All right. Okay. So, since you are the professional wrestler, as you say, which you probably would say no to that.
No, I'm not a professional.
You're not a professional?
You know what?
Oh, he's here! He's here! He is here! My God, he's here! Look out, he's here! Man, we got ourselves a party. Well, see what we can do here. I know it seems very oddly white. I know for. He said he's getting on, Curtis. So he's just he got in. So Curtis, do I need to turn my mic down, or am I good?
No, you're good.
Okay.
Just keep talking the way you are. Don't turn it up or anything. Just leave it the way it is.
All right. Well, here we go. We got Antonio with us. Antonio has just made his big comeback return to here at the podcast tonight with G.REED, Antonio Comer here. So Antonio is finally back after like a 2-month absence. So Antonio, this is my brother Curtis in here, and Curtis, this is my friend Tony.
Hello.
I don't know if he has his headphones in yet, but I'll give him a second to set things up. So I heard you went to see The Hobbit, Curtis. Is that right?
Yep. The final Hobbit.
Was it good or was it not
really
very?
good.
Oh, it was?
Yeah. I liked it.
That's good.
I was surprised I could stay awake through it.
Really?
Yeah. Well, for some reason, all the Lord of the Rings and Hobbit movies that I've seen, I've always fallen asleep halfway through it.
Huh.
Like
And that's
I would fall asleep near somewhat of the beginning of it, And I had to wake up, and it's already the end of the movie.
Oh shit! What happened? I think something happened to Antonio there. I don't know what happened to him. I think something happened with his mic or something, or I think he had to do something. Let me see if I can add him back. Oh, I hope I didn't kick him out. No, I don't think I did. Well, I guess we can start with one thing here. Antonio texted me earlier and he said he wants to talk about this. Curtis, how about we all talk about this whole thing with CM Punk?
CM who?
I don't know. CM Punk, Phil J. Brooks, the guy who's going to what is it called? I can't think of what it stands for.
He's going to the
I know it's UFC. I don't know what it stands for. United
Ultimate Fighting Championship.
That's what it is. Ultimate Fighting Championship. That's what it is.
So what about CM Punk?
Oh. What about CM Punk?
Speak up.
Well, okay. I think Antonio's good. Let me see something on this thing for a second. He's not muted, is he? No,
Nope.
He's not muted. Oh, he's good. He's good. All right. Welcome back, Antonio. You've been missed.
Thanks, man. I'm just here trying to get the sickness away from me.
I know you told me you weren't really feeling the best, and yeah, I know everyone isn't really feeling the best either in this little area,
Yeah, I have a stuffy nose, sore throat. I've been taking some Benadryl. Yeah, some Benadryl, and I'm doing a little bit good.
Well, I got this cool microphone. I think I showed you before. I don't know. I posted a picture of it online, and it looks pretty good. It actually looks like one of those microphones that's probably at our radio station in town here. I probably could be.
That's nice. I might check it out on Facebook when I get on.
I think it's also on Twitter, so it's all good there too. You still watching NXT, Curtis?
No, it was over.
It's over. Was it just that's an hour show, isn't it?
Yeah, it's an hour show. I'm just waiting to end this so I can watch ECW.
ECW, yeah. The old days of ECW, yeah. I wish wrestling was still the way it used to be in the '90s, but they can't do that anymore because of
It all depends on what's going to happen with this Global Force Wrestling.
In what way?
Well, if Global Force Wrestling goes the way Jeff Jarrett wants it to go, we may see another rivalry.
What?
And also with this Lucha Underground.
Wow. I don't want to see I don't want to see a TNA and WWE invasion. I mean,
I would like to see another show rivalry that'll tell Vince McMahon he needs to step it up.
if we had a TNA and WWE
TNA
rivalry,
is down the drain. It's not happening.
so what?
TNA was the best chance. TNA used to be the best chance to give Vince McMahon a run for his money, but they blew it.
They did blow it.
They had so many chances to step it up and have a rivalry with Vince McMahon, but they just couldn't do it.
Well, I wonder why.
They didn't have the money. Money or star power.
I always remember like it was kind of a back and forth battle, of TNA and WWE. I mean, but now since like I know they're doing very poor at their job. I mean, you have
TNA was never a competition. TNA was never competition for WWE.
But I'm really surprised though. Some of our guys, from WWE, I'm surprised they went over there and they went to a company that's like doing so poor now, and they could have stayed in a company that'd probably pay a whole bunch more than they probably are getting their money's worth right now.
They got paid more at WCW than they did at WWE.
Well, that's WCW, but I mean, WCW didn't have. I mean, if WCW was still around, I mean, I wonder how they would actually be competing though. I wonder what it would be like. I mean, you have certain stars that are trying to be, the guys that jump ship, and they just, they went to the other company because they thought they'd make a big star. Because and look, you see, oh, there's Hulk Hogan on the, on WCW, and everyone's like, oh my God, Hulk Hogan just jumped ship and he just screwed Vince McMahon and his company over. But then this whole rivalry with this whole ratings thing, because then, WCW did outbeat WWE actually, quite a few times.
The reason Hulk Hogan left is because Vince McMahon was starting to bring in the next generation.
And that's why
Hulk Hogan was at the end of his road. He couldn't give anything left to the WWE. So that's why Bret Hart and everything, they all showed up.
And they actually made a pretty good impact. So you know how podcasts and stuff usually have music or something,
Certain ones do.
You don't mind if I play a little music, do you?
Not at all.
Will that bother both of you guys at all, or no? Because if it will, I won't play any.
I'm down with it.
Depends on what it is.
It's All Day by Wiz Khalifa and John Cena.
No.
No, really? Come on.
Come on, Curtis. Don't be just stick in the mud.
Your first problem with that is you said John Cena. That was your first mistake.
Oh, come on, man. What's up with that? Come on.
It's John Cena.
So it's John Cena's John Cena, but he's a bigger star than Revolution Wrestling will ever be. So take that. Oh.
So what? At least we don't bore our fans.
Well, you got some people in your group. I don't want to be I don't want to sound so. I don't want to get personal with this, but I mean, I know you do have some people in your group, and they're like. They're kind of like the John Cena or the Brock Lesnar or the Stone Cold Steve Austin, because...
Well, some of them are, but we're not boring to watch.
I wouldn't say John Cena... I wouldn't say Cena's boring to watch.
Here comes another John Cena promo. It's time to put me to sleep.
That's what you're doing, huh? I'm watching there's Family Guys on TV. That's actually it's a popular show. It's actually pretty good so far. I guess Stewie and some...
What else are you doing on this podcast?
Well, we usually talk about WWE. We talk about a lot of random stuff, actually, whatever we can find. We talk about the weather, sometimes, and...
What did I said when you're doing this, if you want to do this, you gotta have all your notes and everything ready to go.
Well, I've been doing this for a long time, and I haven't needed notes since then. I just kind of just wing it.
You're not supposed to wing it.
So? Then what are you doing here then?
I told you I was going to come on the show.
Oh, well, hey, Antonio, do you think we should interview this guy since he is particularly a wrestler?
Sure.
All right. Well, I'll think of the first. I'll think of the first question. I'll try to do the
Is
best
it
I
going to be the
can.
first question you did already?
No, this ain't gonna be the first question like I asked from earlier today because I conducted an interview with him earlier today, to Antonio. So it's on YouTube. So, all right. Well, since you have been, how long have you actually been with Revolution Wrestling and everything?
Since July of last year, or since July of this year.
All right. Well, Antonio, if you want to get the second question, go right ahead, and I'll get the third one. We can switch off and off, or on and on, whatever you want to do.
Will you ever get a single competition title?
Will I ever get a what?
A single title shot?
I told this to Grant before when I did an interview with my friend. I don't see me getting a singles title yet. Because I don't consider as being in a group called the Princeton Preps. We consider us to be co-champions no matter what. So, do I see a singles title in the future? I would say probably not, because we don't want to. We don't want to single out one or the other. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like
it's a group effort.
Yeah.
So I really don't see a singles title. I just see tag team gold in the future.
So I know when I conducted the interview with you earlier today, the one question that I did ask you was, you said you were going to start your own like little group thing.
We're going to start our group. We came up with a couple names already. We don't really have a name yet. But one of the names that we're going to call the company New Generation Wrestling. That's what we're going to call it. After figuring stuff out in a way we want it to be, we were thinking about calling it Maximum Wrestling. Maximum Wrestling or Maximus Wrestling?
Maximum or Maximus Wrestling. They actually got a pretty good ring to it, you know. I do agree with you on that one thing though about the whole, like you said, new generation. I do agree with you. I mean,
there's already a company called New Generation.
Oh well, you don't want to steal from them.
Out of the UK, but there's a couple companies that are called New Generation, and each one of them it'll say New Generation Wrestling. Then it'll have where they're located. Like the UK, one's actually in Ohio that they put the initials for Ohio down. So I decided, based on Revolution Wrestling, it's just an R. And I say, well, why don't we just come up with a name of an organization that's just one, that just is just one word, and then after the word, it just says wrestling. So
that's got a pretty good fit to it right there. I totally agree with you on that fit right there. So that seemed like that work out a lot for you right there. So. Oh, man.
All right, next question.
Well, I guess. Well, I guess you got the next one, Tony.
Will you ever have a different gimmick instead of the Princeton Prep?
I don't want to say yes, but I also don't want to say no. Being a prep that I was in high school at Princeton, I mean, I was somewhat of a jock, but I wasn't like the top jock. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wasn't, I wasn't the popular one, but I was well known. by everybody because I grew up in town and everybody basically knew everybody. I do want to do a different gimmick, but that's not up to me. That's up to our owner, Mike. I want to stay away from the whole Princeton Preps because I still want to be a tag team and all that. I can still see us being a tag team, but we're gonna ride the coattails of this tag team until everybody gets bored, per se. But yeah, I've had a few ideas of what I'd like to do when I do start my own company in 2016, hopefully still. I do want to do a different gimmick. I'm not going to say anything on what it might be or what it will be, but I do have a few plans on what I want to do with it. So, right now in Revolution Wrestling, not changing my gimmick unless things change. When I start my own company, things will change, and I will have a completely different gimmick.
Oops. All right. Well, I got the next question here. I know you told me before you did have your gallbladder surgery, and I hope that heals up nicely. Now with this whole thing, we saw Roman Reigns. He leave for about 3 months from September into like now and everything. And do you think 3 months period of time would be enough time for you to get your 100% back, or do you need a little extra time than that? I mean, I know you want to get in the ring as soon as possible for sure.
Roman Reigns was out for 3 months with an injury due to his emergency hernia surgery.
Right.
Based on our first show is the day before WrestleMania. And they've already got the schedule out. I can't say anything with that, but they've already got the schedule out for that show. That will be 3 months and 2 weeks of recovery. How everything's going right now with the way my stomach is, I still get sick every once in a while. Food still doesn't sit well, but it's only been a week, and I still have 3 months before I need to. I still have 3 months before I need to be back in training. So 3 months will definitely be, based on how everything's going and how my body feels right now. I'll be back in the gym by the beginning of the year. So I'm hoping to get back in the ring, because with this gallbladder, they said you lose. Some people, it all depends on who, they actually lose quite a bit of weight because of it. And I'm hoping that with the way I've been trying to eat with my appetite, that I can lose a bunch of weight, and I'll be fit and ready to go when the season starts up in March. So.
All right. Well, go ahead, Tony. The next one. It's all under your control.
What wrestler do you compare yourself to?
I can't remember his name. I'm almost. I can't remember his name. He was a somewhat of a jock. I can't. It was a guy back in 1992 that debuted. I can't remember his name, but it wasn't a guy that doesn't. It was a guy that doesn't wrestle anymore. I can't remember. Like I said, I can't remember his name, but he did a jock thing. But when it comes to like who do I want
It's kind of lagging, Curtis. I hate to interrupt you, but it's kind of it kind of lagged out for a second. Let's see. I don't want to hide from the broadcast. Present to everyone. Curtis, maybe you can try to leave the session maybe once and then come back, because I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I know you're on a cell phone. That makes a difference, but I don't want you. I don't want you to leave. But you might have to do that for a second, and then you have to come right back. But because I can't even hear you at all, actually. Wait a minute. I can hear Antonio talking. Can you hear him though, Antonio, or not?
I can only hear you.
Just me?
Yeah.
That's a big close up of your face there, sir. Yeah, Curtis. How about this? Wait a minute. Okay, he left. Okay. Oh well, that was a pretty good interview to start with, though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He'll probably join back here in just a few seconds. We got a person we got one view, and that's not my brother. So thank God, because
Is that better?
There. All right.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's better. Let me.
Okay.
It says I think you're like hiding. Let me show in broadcast. All right.
As long as you can hear me, it's fine.
All right. I just heard you. So.
Okay. Now, Antonio, you were talking about idolizing a character. Like I said before, there's a character from 1992 that he was more of a jockage, and he was kind of not built like I am. I mean, he was heavy set, but he was athletic with it. I can't remember his name, but also I kind of, like I said, I kind of do stuff. I kind of want to do stuff when it comes to like what Eugene did. Eugene did every single type of move that he liked. I mean, it was, he did the Hogan leg drop, Stone Cold Stunner. He did the elbow. He did the rock bottom. All famous moves that people are well known for. Now, when it comes to my finisher type of thing, is, like I said before, I don't know if you guys remember him, because he was kind of in the night. He wrestled in the 90s. Was Gangrel. Came out as a vampire and drank blood and then spit it out. But his finisher was the Impaler DDT, which was just basically the execution, except you don't land with their face in the middle of your legs. It's on the side. And I've been doing that move. I've got a few other moves that I thought about wanting to do. It all depends on weight-wise, because when it comes to weight size, certain moves I can't do because I'm not small enough to do it. So I'm hoping, after I get some of this weight lost out and get back in the ring and start training, that I can, figure out, well, hey, I've lost this weight now. I can finally do certain moves that I've wanted to do. Now, also, you had said, like you said with the, who do you want your career to be idolized by, or who do you want your career to be basically a continuation of almost. I know he said it before, but Chris Jericho said it once before. He didn't want to. He idolized Shawn Michaels. It was back in 2003, I think, when he said this, or 2002, 2003. He had said, "I don't want to be the next Shawn Michaels. I want to be the first Chris Jericho." So that's what I think. I just want to be the first Kurt Reed.
All right. Well, I have my next question for you, Curtis. Now I'm just gonna say this. This probably won't happen for a long time in your company, and you can't really give too many hints out because, yeah, that's probably what most wrestling companies idolize it on their superstars, because not to give out too many hints to the world, because then the fans will expect that happening. But I'm gonna use this as a scenario anyway. So let's just say you and D-Row didn't work out. The whole team, you had to split up because you had to go separate ways because of this whole storyline, and Darren was going for a different title and he was going for a different type of like wrestling. How his like mid Carter to just a singles competition maybe once a month or something. So if they put you in a position, Curtis, where if you were gonna act like now I could see your character acting like a Dean Ambrose character, because you have kind of that look a little bit. I could see you coming out like how he does come out, and like usually when he first started this whole gimmick, being crazy and everything with the whole leather jacket, pair of jeans, and just a regular tank top shirt.
I'm gonna cut you off for a second.
Yeah.
He didn't start this gimmick of the way he is right now, the unhinged. He didn't start that in WWE. There was a wrestling company called CZW, Combat Zone Wrestling, and that is where the original Dean Ambrose, which back then he was John Moxley. That's where it originally started.
And
that's where the original Dean Ambrose started. Or the original.
Tony showed me a video before of Dean Ambrose in the corner, and he's like, M&M's, and he's like, so he said something like that, he's acting crazy. That's how his character is. But like I was saying before, if your character had to portray a character of like how Dean Ambrose was when he started to begin his entire thing of like what company you said. And if you were going to be told to do that, would you do it if that was the storyline itself?
If they told me to be like Dean Ambrose, would I do it?
Yes.
To an extent, yes. But on a side note, I don't like hardcore. I like hardcore to an extent. Like certain matches, I like it. Like tables match, I love tables. I love watching table matches. Certain ladder matches, all the TLC matches that they've ever had. More so the early days where it was the Hardys and Edge and Christian and the Dudleys. Those were always fun to watch. But yeah, I see myself being somewhat of a Dean Ambrose, being all crazy, but still having a somewhat of a calm side, like a Jackal and Mr. Hyde type of side, if you know who that is. Or what?
Not really.
If you know it. It's a classic story
about
a scientist. Look up Jackal and Mr. Hyde.
I'll figure that sometime. Well, I got some footage. I'm just going to hold up to the mic here. Hope this will work. It's you and D-Row backstage. Road Uprising to Princeton Preps. This is where you make a challenge. Hope that I get this to work.
Okay.
Calm down. Calm. Piss me off! Dude, you almost had them, alright? I don't care! I want another match! Sean and Mo, guys may have got the better of me today. Come adrenaline. I challenge Mo Dinger to a handicap match between G.REED and G.REED. We'll see you there.
Something kind of like that. Can we get your thoughts on how you felt at that moment, please?
Well, as you know, I'm saying, you know, I don't know how Mike would react to this, but you know, as most people know, it's all scripted. Everything
Correct.
is all scripted. I wasn't happy that I lost the match because it was my debut. No one wants to lose. No one wants to lose in their debut match.
No.
It just doesn't look good. I'm hoping this next season I'm gonna build on that, and you know, come out better than ever. At that moment, you know, we were still working on the show and everything. I did challenge Mo Dinger to a match. It was later on in the week, or a couple weeks or so, that the guy Mo was not going to be at the show due to other commitments that he had to fulfill. And if you watch the Adrenaline show, the September, I think it was the September 20th episode of Adrenaline, when we actually did have that handicap match, it actually ended up being against Sean Mitchell, who is the other tag team partner to Mo.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, that was because Mo couldn't be there, so we ended up challenging him. And then, if you watched it in the following week, on the final Adrenaline show before our big final show, we actually finally did face Mo.
Mm-hmm.
So we ended up getting our match. So I was happy for that.
Well, that's good. That's good. That's good news for you. We got it. I think we have the next question available here somewhere.
What is your favorite WWE OMG moment?
Favorite WWE OMG moment?
Yes.
It's everyone's favorite. Mankind going off the cell.
Yeah, he actually, I think he got injured from that.
He broke 3 ribs. I think he actually had teeth break off out of his mouth. I think he had somewhat of a broken nose. And then, of course, the signature look that he had on his face was with him smiling. Was he didn't mean to smile. It was the fact that his tooth was lodged up into his nose, and that was what was sticking out of his nose. So.
That was almost a career-ending moment right there. Same with when he fell through the top of the cell against Triple H.
Yep, and the reason, I think they've said it before. I think in another interview that Mick Foley has done before was he did say the only reason he became famous was because no one else wanted to do certain things. No one else would do what he did, and that's why he became so famous. Was because he was willing to take those bumps or take that much pain and continue.
Now I have a question. Now, do you think that if Revolution Wrestling decide to do this big match like a Hell in a Cell itself, or some sort of steel cage or some kind of big match itself, which that'd be totally awesome. Do you think that either maybe you or anybody in the company themselves could perform some sort of OMG moment?
I don't see us doing a Hell in a Cell or a cage type of match. due to the fact is it costs money. None of us. Our Revolution Wrestling is a non-profit. We don't make any money out of this at all. You know, everything is paid out of pocket from our own money to do this. We do this because we love to do it. I would like to do a steel cage match. I've talked about it, but you got to consider storage and paying for it, paying for the ring, paying to set it up, making sure it stays up the way it needs to be. I would like to do a match like not a Hell in a Cell, but do a cage match. You know, I've been more fascinated with it because it costs so much money to do it, but doing a some type of chamber match or something to that extent. A cage. I don't know if it was the right price or not, but in order to purchase all the necessities of the elimination chamber, it cost $250,000. So a quarter of $1,000,000 to build the entire elimination chamber. But yeah, in the future, hopefully maybe in the new company in 2016 when we want to start it, hopefully we can get enough money to actually have a steel cage match. So, doing a OMG moment for it. I can't really see an OMG moment inside of a steel cage the way I see, because the type of steel cage that I think we would get would not be very sturdy to jump off or something like that. I see more of an OMG moment in like a ladder match or doing something crazy that nobody would do. But we'll just have to see what the future holds for this. Like I said, I would not mind doing a steel cage match.
So now, would you guys ever consider? I know you do guys have someone on commentary. That is the guy behind the is pretty much the guy behind the camera, just talking.
Peter Moxley. He is our cameraman and our video editor.
Trying to think. Well, I know like WWE has their own commentary. Like to go to the commentary and talk to them for a minute. I don't want to. What are you guys looking for commentary at any moment in time, or are you guys just holding off because you have your guy Peter there that's doing most of the work for himself?
That is not up to me. That is up to the owner on what he wants to do. He's the one who runs everything. He's the one who's basically paid for everything. So that is up to him on what he wants to do.
All right. Well, maybe I'll have to, if I can get a hold of him or do something. But I mean, yeah, it'd be pretty cool to have their own, commentary system that they usually do. So like maybe during a show or some sort of thing, whatever. I mean, they could go straight to commentary. But I mean, it looks like you guys, really got what you're paid for, or not you're paying, what you guys are heading for this company. It looks like you guys are really, set in stone it seems like for a long time as you guys are heading into 2015, and seems like everything's going as perfectly good. So I mean, every match that maybe you're in or whoever else is in, like that dog or whatever his name is, that Wyatt, I know he
Tinkerbell.
Yeah, what Tinkerbell, is that they call him?
That's what we called him.
I thought he was the.
I don't want to take credit for it, but I believe I came up with the name Tinkerbell to give to him.
Did
It was right before a show. We were getting ready to cut a promo for something, and I came up with the name Tinkerbell just to give to him.
Well, it seems like it fits him, and I mean, I don't want to sound like a complete. I don't want to sound. I don't want to sound too personal with it because it's not my. It's not what I. It's not my creativity, as you'd say. Well.
Any more questions, or are we done?
You got any questions? Any more questions, Antonio? Because you see you coming up with some pretty decent questions, better than mine.
I got an answer for basically everything. So.
Do you guys take chair shots to the head, or you use your arms to block the chair shots?
It all depends on the person, really. When it comes to the great thing about Revolution Wrestling is you don't want to hurt anybody. That is the main goal. You are there to put on a good show for fans. You're not there to hurt anybody. If you are afraid of hurting anybody, you're in the wrong. You shouldn't be doing this. Don't be afraid to hit somebody. I mean, you don't want to hit anybody on purpose, or you don't want to hit anybody for real, because you have to make it look real, but you want it to be. You don't want to hurt them. I have taken a chair shot to the head, but I do use my hand. A lot of people we do ahead of time, especially during we did a 15 minutes of pain hardcore match at our final show, and there was blood, there was light tubes, there was stop signs, chairs, and we made sure that the people that were scheduled, or the people that were wanting to be in that match just to be on the card, because that was one of those matches where, well, you can be in the match, you're not going to win it, but you're going to be, we can do certain things where you can, you're going to have to take this, you're going to have to take that. It's more of, are you willing to take it? And if you don't want to do it, you don't have to. So it's more so of, if you don't want to do a certain thing, we're not going to force you to do it. It's always making sure that the person that is taking it, or the person that is taking the move, is willing to take it with no problem at all. I know there's a few moves that people have asked me, hey, do you want to? I know we were practicing a move one day, and someone asked me, do I want to take a doomsday device, which is the basically electric chair drop on someone's shoulders and getting clotheslined while I'm on someone else's shoulders. I said I don't want.
Oh no! Oh no! It didn't do it again, did it? No.
Not good.
Oh shit! It did. Oh no. Oh, damn it! Oh, I think it did. Oh, it did it again. What the f? What the man? Oh man, this is turning into a nightmare. Oh, God, what have I created? Curtis, come back. Wait a minute. Say something, Curtis. Okay. Curtis, come back again, please. Hate to have you leave again, but Yeah, that's disappointing. I can't believe it's. I don't know. Maybe it's the connection or something. It's probably that.
Yeah.
So you feel any better?
I'm getting there.
All right, better?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, Grant, don't mess with your mic.
All right.
You know, like I was saying with taking moves, certain moves, it's a matter of if you don't want to take them, you don't have to. Um, like I said, they asked me if I wanted to take a Doomsday device, and I said no, I don't feel comfortable taking it. If there's certain moves you don't feel comfortable taking, you have to let the person know that you don't want to take it. And then you've also got the fact like there's certain moves like, oh, I want to do a certain DDT on you. Certain people aren't comfortable taking it. I know I took a move. I couldn't remember what type of move it was, but it was a certain move where I had to basically do almost like a semi-flip, and I didn't feel comfortable taking it, doing the flip part of it. So instead, we found another way to do it, so where I ended up doing a spike. Ended up just going straight on my face, almost like what the Miz does when he does his spike DDT. Instead, some people have done the DDT where they roll over, they do almost like a somersault on the DDT, and I felt comfortable just going straight down. It looks more painful doing it that way too. So it's a matter of how are you taking the move itself. So there's a lot of things when it comes to certain moves. It's like do you want to take a certain way, or how do you want to do this? And you're talking about chair shots. I know, like I said, when I did chair shots, when I took a chair shot before, you know, I made sure my hands were up. We did somewhat of an initiation where you have to take a chair shot to your back from every single buddy on the roster. Now, they don't do it hard. Some people do it hard because they don't listen. But, you know, I've taken a chair shot. I've taken a kendo stick to my back. And, you know, it's a matter of when you get, it hurts when you know it's coming, but when your adrenaline is pumping and you're not really thinking about it, you just know it's coming, it doesn't hurt so bad. So, but yeah, you always got to make sure to protect yourself on whatever move if you're going to get hit with a weapon, you have to make sure that person knows how to hit you properly without hurting you, and you have to make sure that you can, you know, protect yourself at the same time, but still make it look good. So I hope that answers your question.
It seems like it has. So, well, I think we have asked you a handful of some decent questions tonight. Well, we would love to have you back on the show. Again, we'd love to have you back here because you have some pretty good insights of what you know how to do with Revolution Wrestling and what they do as a company themselves, inside and outside the ring. So I really appreciate you.
We'll have to do this while I'm over at the house.
That's fine. Like when you're over at the house, and we can, and then you know Tony, you can be here to ask some questions too if if you like, and if you don't if you don't feel up to it, that's okay. I'll take the show and I'll run it as I would. So, but Curtis, if you have other things to do, you go right ahead and do those other things, and Tony and I will finish up the show here. So.
Okay. See you guys.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you. That wasn't at all.
pretty. That was pretty. That was a pretty good interview. I've never done any. I've done some interviews myself before, and and they really sometimes they seem to suck.
Yeah, but it's my first interview.
Yeah, we got our first interview on our show. Ain't that something? So.
So I was watching a podcast with Chris Jericho, Talking Jericho. One of the that I watch it. Chris Jericho did an interview with Dean Ambrose, and it looked like Dean Ambrose didn't want the name Dean. He didn't want the name. He didn't want the name Dean, and he's like, "Oh, I don't look like a Dean." He's like, "What do you think I am? Some type of joke or something?" Because I know Dean Ambrose got to deal with it, just like he was known as John Moxley, and I think he preferred as John Moxley or something before like he changed the name to Dean Ambrose.
Right. I mean, okay, so when they were the Shield at the time, of course, they they all have different names. Like we said, Dean Ambrose, his thing is John Moxley, and you have Seth Rollins, which is Tyler Black, and then you have Roman Reigns. I don't know his name. I don't know his exact name. Maybe I don't. Roman Reigns doesn't sound like a real name. It sounds like a person's real name, but it's I don't know if that's a real name or not. I wouldn't know, but he did go by the name like Loki or something in NXT. But I mean, when you put those names together, they don't sound. It doesn't sound like a team. I mean, if you did put like John Moxley and Tyler Black together, that kind of sounds like a team. But then when you add the names Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns, now that sounds like more of a team than you'd think. But I'm actually surprised that Dean Ambrose, he doesn't like the name Dean. That's kind of surprising.
Yeah, and he was I heard a lot of things, and he also lives in trying to think. He lives in Las Vegas now. He does a lot of things, and also you got Seth Rollins, who's probably living around in Iowa. Roman Reigns probably still living in Florida. I also got to talk about something. CM Punk joining UFC. He said that he since like when in that moment, the moment he was like trying to leave WWE, like the one time where he was like WWE champion.
Oh yeah, and in 2011 when he left with the title and he put it in his fridge. Yeah, I remember that. That was some moment.
Yeah, CM Punk said that he wanted to join UFC right off the bat, but it wasn't his fault. He didn't quit. It was just that what the WWE writers was treating him. They were treating him like crap, and they were like not giving him chances to like get what he wanted. Like, yeah, they wanted him to like do a lot of matches and like do a whole bunch of other stuff, but you gotta admit, if one of us were in the WWE, then we'll be like working our butts off and we'll start having health issues, and I'm like, oh, if I had health issues, I'd be like, oh, I don't wanna continue. My ribs probably broken and I got brain damage. I'm gonna see a doctor. But if you go to a WWE doctor, they're just gonna tell you, oh, you're doing alright. Yeah, you're doing alright. You'll be fine. Now, I'm gonna take you a little test, see if you're doing okay. I'm gonna let you run back and forth to the ropes like a beginner, like an NXT type of guy.
Right.
That's what CM Punk said in Arts of Wrestling with Cole Cabana. He said that WWE wanted him to run the ropes like he's some type of NXT guy, and CM Punk's been around in WWE for almost a decade. Like next year, 2015, he was in WWE for a decade, but I want to say he was like until 2015 he's gonna be in a decade because he got fired from Vince McMahon because the way how CM Punk like did his thing, he said that the test was bull crap, and he said running the ropes was bull crap, and he never got what he wanted because CM Punk said that he was supposed to do another 12 rounds, but Randy Orton got that spot because, well, first CM Punk wanted to do the movie, but he also didn't want to leave a house show like a tour to like during the house shows and stuff. But he talked to Triple H and said that he didn't want to, that he wasn't, they wanted to be scheduled for the house show. And Triple H was like saying, oh, I don't know if I can put you in a schedule, but yeah, blah, blah, blah. And then CM Punk was going to be like, well, I want to be part of the schedule for the house shows and also do this movie. And then Triple H, like, next day comes up to Punk and said, oh, Randy Orton got the spot, and Randy Orton's is scheduled to be in this house show and that, but not CM Punk. And CM Punk was, like, treating crap by Triple H, because Triple H is all about the big guys, and CM Punk's not a big guy. Neither a small guy. I would say CM Punk's like a mid-weight type of guy.
Agreed.
Like he's a brawler, like technical wrestler, and kind of a high flying because he does a lot of high flying moves and there's a lot of things. CM Punk is originally created the Shield. He wanted I think Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, and Chris Hero, who was known as Cassius Ohno back in NXT before he got released. But Triple H took the credit. He talked to Vince into it and took the credit, but not CM Punk. Triple H took it and took out Chris Hero and added in Roman Reigns. And CM Punk just stood there. He's like, well, I might as well just work with these guys. Like, since Ono, as known as Chris Hero, just got released, so I might as well work with these guys. And CM Punk was also thinking about adding against someone else, but I forgot who. But like Triple H think that he wanted that CM Punk to work with Daniel Bryan, but CM Punk said that it was either when like the whole rivalry with The Rock, CM Punk said, well, it was either drop the title to Daniel Bryan or turn heel and face The Rock. But CM Punk didn't want to turn heel that time because he was big. He had the merchandise. He had the fans. He had everything. He was in movies and TV, and he didn't want to lose it. He also didn't want to turn heel to drop the title on The Rock, who's only there part time.
Yeah, and like The Rock with his return, he came back, in 2013. I mean, some people liked it, some people didn't. I mean, for the thing with The Rock though, I mean, excuse me, when he came back for that short time, from like when he made his announcements on Raw 1000, and he said, okay, whoever the champion is, I'm gonna face him at Double Rumble, and and he faced CM Punk. So when he got his hands with CM Punk, he won the title. But the thing is, I mean, they completely. I hate to say this, but they completely just kind of ruined the entire skit there because you have to have Vince come out, and Vince is like, okay, Vince, he says, he says, CM Punk, if you did this or something, if you had the Shield interfere in your match, or to strip you the title, and then and The Rock has to make his comment, and he says, you ain't taken from, I'm taking from him. So The Rock gets back in the ring, people's elbows CM Punk, and then I'm realizing, hey, you know what, Vince, that is a complete kick out right there for CM Punk, because he could totally just kick out of that, but they have it planned out because they want to have him face John Cena again. But I mean, I think John Cena is a good champion no matter what anyone says, including my brother in general, because he's just not John Cena material. I mean, you gotta have those. Some people have the John Cena material and some people don't. I mean, you and I, we got the Cena material, we got everything like that, of course. But I mean, I'm not really. I'm kind of. I do like the Attitude. I did like the Attitude myself, but like I was saying, this whole Punk and Rock thing. I mean, they could have at least done put someone else in there. Like they could have used The Rock in one match, and not have him go for a championship. They could have used The Rock in a match where he's facing some, it's like maybe, I don't know, maybe he wanted to face John Cena again, for John Cena to prove, hey, you know what, Rock, I can defeat you again, and it doesn't have to be for the title. And then you could have had Stone Cold come out and him go for CM Punk, and there could be the whole thing right there, because everyone wants Stone Cold versus CM Punk, no matter what, because when you have like two stars that did it back at WrestleMania 18, The Rock and Hogan. I mean, you have those guys facing off when The Rock was just was like in the middle of his big career, and then you got Hulk Hogan that made a big opportunity for himself to be a legend, and then you got like almost I don't know, like 15 years later or something, or something like 10, 12, 15 years later, and then you have excuse me, you have The Rock coming out, and he's like the biggest star in at the time. Then you have John Cena probably at the middle of his career. So I mean you just never know. I mean they could have used some other people besides for The Rock for the title, but they could have used somebody else to go for that. But they could have used the title in different ways, because they could have given it to Brock Lesnar in the first place. I mean, I'm kind of a Lesnar fan, kind of not. I go both ways with Brock Lesnar. I mean, with his gimmick, I mean, he's got in his contract, it probably says, hey, Brock, you can show up whenever you want. You can have this match against somebody, and then they got to give it to, I hate to say they have to give it to John Cena, but I mean, I would like to see Randy Orton go against Brock Lesnar for myself, because Randy Orton himself is a kind of a babyface now, of course, and I like to see actually him go against Lesnar besides Cena, because the past months, it's August until I can't think of last time August and September, and I'd like to actually see Randy Orton actually go for the shot besides having John Cena. I mean, John Cena's had multiple shots, but I mean, I hate to disagree with them, but that's what that's their decision is their decision. I mean, they want to have a big guy name versus another big guy name, and they got John Cena and Lesnar facing off once again, like they had from back in 2003 when when Cena was the heel and Brock was the face.
Yeah, and I think you're just gonna have John Cena become like a 16-time champion just because because John Cena looks up to Ric Flair and stuff. Like I get it, Ric Flair and John Cena are great friends, but like I don't see why won't they just have like, let's say Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins missed the Money in the Bank. Why won't they just give him like a one title shot instead of just like have him like teasing us like with the cash-ins and like in another cash-ins, and why won't they just have like guys like Dean Ambrose or Randy Orton, like you said, and let's say who else deserves it? Dolph Ziggler. Look at Dolph Ziggler.
Dolph Ziggler. I mean,
Yeah, he's the next Royal Rumble winner. He's the next WWE champion, and like look at him. He won multiple world titles and multiple intercontinental U.S. titles, and like look at him. He deserves a bigger spot. The way he's doing now, he's main eventing. I think he main evented Raw one time. He made
yeah.
he main evented Survivor Series. That's what I gotta say. He main evented Survivor Series, not John Cena, Dolph Ziggler. He main evented that. He won that. He made Survivor Series look like a 5-star pay-per-view. But the way how Sting came out, that was unexpected. But everybody knew the rumors. I didn't knew the rumors because my laptop was, that situation. But
Right.
but I've been waiting for Sting to debut someday. But I think Sting will come out again, but to like challenge The Undertaker. But that's not gonna happen because there's talk with Bray Wyatt versus Undertaker, which makes no sense. It makes no sense to have Bray Wyatt versus Undertaker when Undertaker's streak is over. When they should have had Bray Wyatt end the streak, not Brock Lesnar. Like, look, Brock Lesnar, I get it. Brock Lesnar beat Undertaker in the Hell in a Cell, decades ago. But why would you have Brock Lesnar? Like, yeah, I get it. He's a former UFC World Champion, former WWE Champion, former freaking school wrestling type of crap. But like, we should have guys like Bray Wyatt to end it. Guys like John Cena to end it. Guys like CM Punk. CM Punk was gonna end it. Undertaker wanted CM Punk to end the streak, but they made it kind of kayfabe it thing, like Undertaker beat CM Punk just to defend his father. I get that, but if Paul Bearer didn't pass away, I pretty much think CM Punk would have ended the streak.
Like what you were saying, I actually do agree with you with someone else, because I did see this thing on WWE.com is like those interviews they have, like how the react was to the streak, and it was reacted like this. Titus O'Neil, actually for him, he said in what they were gonna do, they were gonna have him pretty much end it, but I mean, you could have someone like him end it, but I mean, how many people would wanna? How many people would remember? I mean, people would remember it, of course, but how many people? People don't even like Titus O'Neil that much anyway, because he's he's been he was with the Primetime Players, which was an okay team, and then you have him with Slater Gator, which pretty much is a pretty much waste of time. I mean, Titus O'Neil when he came on him when he went to by himself, he should have gone by himself. I mean, not have to join another team, because he's Slater with 3MB. 3MB was a better team, and I thought 3MB. I mean, if they did split up and went their own ways again, I think all three of the guys, but maybe Heath Slater, maybe not as much, but maybe Drew McIntyre, Jinder Mahal, but mostly Drew McIntyre will probably have more of a bigger career shot than probably either Heath Slater or Jinder Mahal. I think because they made him Intercontinental Champion. I mean, the Intercontinental Champion is a big title in their business, and they should make him champion because he deserves it. But then Dolph Ziggler, like you said, Dolph Ziggler sold out Survivor Series. I mean, he really stole the show that night. I mean, he took it with him, and like you said before, but with Sting and everything, I mean, no one was expecting Sting to come, And you never know now. They probably might have Sting versus Triple H because, Sting decided to attack Triple H. And then everyone decided to have, everyone wants Sting and Undertaker. It probably won't happen because of Undertaker's condition, and probably because Sting kind of showed up at a later time than everyone was expecting. Because at the thing for the 2K15, the reveal, Sting actually said to the fans, "Do you want me to face Undertaker at WrestleMania or whatever?" And everyone's like, "Yeah," and I'm like, okay, hey, maybe the match is set, but maybe it's not. But you never know. I mean, that was back in like 2 months ago, and then we look now at in November, he pretty much debuted like a month later in that Survivor Series. He comes out and he's making his big debut into WWE because that's where he began. But he could have just waited until next year. I mean, they want to have Undertaker compete in WrestleMania some way because streak over or not, or streak over or streak not over, they probably want to put him because he's been part of WrestleMania since like WrestleMania like 7 or 8 or something. So I mean, I'd keep him there no matter what happens to the streak. Streak whatever, keep him in it.
Yeah, and I don't see why you wouldn't like choose Bray Wyatt. I get it. Bray Wyatt, he's the reason why they went Bray Wyatt over Dean Ambrose because but they just like saved the streak for Bray Wyatt. Why don't they save the streak for Sting? Again, the big dream match, Sting versus Undertaker. For me, I wanted to see the biggest dream match I wanted to see for years was Stone Cold Steve Austin versus CM Punk. I want to see Stone Cold Stunner CM Punk's ass. I want to see CM Punk GTS Stone Cold's ass, but that's not going to happen because CM Punk's out in the real world in UFC, and Stone Cold's out in the real world doing his own podcast and a whole bunch of other reality shows.
Yeah, Stone Cold with his thing, he's Stone Cold, but I mean, it's I just don't get why they can't put Stone Cold in there. I mean, a lot of people thought Stone Cold was overrated because he could go around and he could just give everyone the finger. I mean, that's kind of overrated. It's kind of not, but in my opinion, I'd say overrated because, I mean, in the Attitude Era, he was more, he had that more badass technique. But I mean, with his thing going around and giving people pretty much a finger, telling them, hey, you know what, whatever, he would do that. I mean, but I wouldn't have a character going around and do that. But I mean, if that was the thing in the 90s, that people were just learning how to do the finger, maybe portray it to their fans because, hey, you know what? Not many people in WWE or have ever done that before because they didn't allow it because of copyright purposes or because of they get in trouble. And you wouldn't want to get your fans in trouble because this whole thing between WCW and the Monday Night War, because of how they had Vince, they had Vince pretty much stepping in the ring himself to get the ratings, portray up in the air for everyone to watch in, and you had Mankind win the WWF title at the time, and everyone tuned into Monday Night Raw tonight because when they realized he won the title, everyone pretty much kind of watched that. I mean, because it took like 2 big names from back then pretty much to keep WWE television as it is. And if we didn't have, and if WCW was still around, hey, we wouldn't be having this WWE network. We wouldn't be having too many big pay-per-views. We would be every week we'd have some guy from WCW decide to come in and attack one of our WWE superstars. We'd have some of the big names be taken out for like a month. We'd have maybe if Roman Reigns probably wouldn't be in WWE right now, Big Show would be over in WCW. You'd have like they want to get Hulk Hogan in because Hulk Hogan, they want to get Hulk Hogan to defend WWE because how he came back, but then Hulk Hogan, you know Hulk Hogan is with his old thing, but they'd keep him in WWE because Hulk Hogan pretty much lives in WWE, to be honest with you.
Yeah, what the way how I see Hulk Hogan in WCW, I think he was overrated. I think guys like let's say let's say Surfer Sting. I get it, he was like the biggest guy, but I think that kid was kind of overrated. I think Sting kind of said it was overrated. He needed to change. He went
Well, I agree. I agree with.
like the current WWE like now, like overrated guys. I gotta say Daniel Bryan. I get it. I like Daniel Bryan. I'm a huge fan of Daniel Bryan. My nephew's a huge fan of Daniel Bryan, but like he just I get it. He's like he got his moment. He became WWE World Heavyweight Champion at WrestleMania 30. But the way I see him, like I saw he was good. Like he's good now, but when I saw him back in like the first season of NXT, I was like, this dude, I think he's just overrated. And the way how they like made him, like he came, like when he went to main roster, I didn't like Daniel Bryan like that much because he was just the way how they were made him like his character was like so overrated. Yeah, I get it. You want to go towards Miz. You went from rivalry. You went from having a rivalry with the Miz, your own pro in NXT, to having a rivalry with Michael Cole, to having a, having a storyline with the Bella Twins, to Gail Kim, to to um having your chance, having your own chance to become world champion, to have to starting the Yes chant, which anybody didn't didn't care about that. All he was chanting no, to dropping the title to I believe Big Show, I believe. Oh no, Sheamus. I mean, yeah, he dropped the title to Sheamus, and then had this whole stupid storyline thing with AJ, saying how AJ cost him the title match. But I I started growing to me. It started growing to me like how I started like him, like when he started no chance and a whole bunch of stuff. I started to like Daniel Bryan. I started to like get into Daniel Bryan. The way when he got in the rivalry with CM Punk and like with like the AJ thing and Kane, I started to like Daniel Bryan. He just grew into me. But people on the internet saying that CM Punk's overrated, I don't think CM Punk's overrated. I get it. He says he's the best in the world. He's the best wrestler in the world. He's straight edge. He doesn't do drugs. He doesn't drink. He doesn't smoke. I get it. But he's not overrated. He's not he's not Daniel Bryan. He doesn't yell out the same thing like one word in every sentence. He doesn't say, "Oh, I'm gonna do this and this." Yes, I'm gonna do this and that. Yes, yes, yes. No, no, no. CM Punk comes out, say he was gonna, he's gonna like beat someone, and saying he's like, he is better than like some people. He said that he tells facts. CM Punk tells facts. He told facts to Vince McMahon during during the what was it, the contract signing before Money in the Bank.
Right.
He told a fact during the pipe bomb promo, and right now CM Punk doesn't. He said CM Punk in the interview now, he thinks the pipe bomb promo is nothing to him. That's all. That's all he says. He said the pipe bomb promo is nothing to me, and he just like something about WWE is nothing to him anymore, and like it grows up. It just grows into him. Like he wanted He wanted Daniel Bryan to have his own time. He didn't. He didn't just want. He didn't want. He didn't just want like a title shot at WrestleMania 30. He just wanted to main event WrestleMania 30. It's like it's like he wanted to face John Cena or something at like WrestleMania 29 or WrestleMania 30. But he also wants to main event. He didn't want title shot after title shot after title shot at WrestleMania. He wanted Daniel Bryan to get the title shot. So Daniel Bryan got the title shot, but CM Punk doesn't want to face Triple H for like what reason at WrestleMania 30. But as you can see it, like there's a lot of things that's supposed to happen. The Chris Jericho and Bray Wyatt thing was supposed to be CM Punk versus Bray Wyatt. And if I see that now, it would probably be like, I don't know, CM Punk turning heel or something, and probably had a rivalry with Dean Ambrose, for example. I like Dean Ambrose. I like CM Punk still. CM, CM Punk goes some other company, I don't care. He's still my favorite wrestler. But I had to like someone else instead of just thinking about CM Punk all the time. Like, oh, CM Punk this, CM Punk that. I gotta like someone new in the WWE. I was like, all right, I'm gonna see who's next on my list because I have like top, I don't know, a lot of favorite superstars. So okay, I'm gonna list a little few things of our favorite wrestlers. So my number one right now, Dean Ambrose. Second, Seth Rollins. Third, Roman Reigns. I like Roman Reigns, but the way how WWE's treating him, he's just like another John Cena. He's like a next. He's just John Cena 2.0. Hey, a lot of people are starting to hate Roman Reigns. I like Roman Reigns. I respect Roman Reigns. I like how Roman Reigns is working in the ring. Like, I even used his own Superman punch in WWE 2K15. But like, a lot of people just trying to get in my head. It's like, oh, Roman Reigns sucks because he only has 4 moves. He's the next John Cena. He's not the next John Cena. Roman Reigns is Roman Reigns. Like, Roman Reigns said that I forgot when, he was like in an interview via satellite. He's saying that people that compare him to John Cena, he said he's bigger than John Cena, he's stronger than John Cena, he weighs more than John Cena, and a whole bunch of other stuff. It's Roman Reigns' chance to win the Royal Rumble and become WWE World Heavyweight Champion. A lot of people said that Daniel Bryan's going to come back at the Royal Rumble and win it to face Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. But I know Roman Reigns is going to win because, look, if you look at WWE.com, they said something that Roman Reigns is going to be the next WWE World Heavyweight Champion. And, I want Roman Reigns to have that shot, but a lot of people are just, like, turning their backs on him for no reason. They first wanted him to, when they first bought the Shield in WWE, they wanted Roman Reigns to have the title shot. Like, oh, Roman Reigns deserves a huge push. I don't think Roman Reigns deserves a huge push. I think Dean deserves Seth Rollins deserves a huge push. Oh, look at Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins is the Mr. in the Bank. Dean Ambrose is fastest. Don't care if he gets disqualified or not. But Roman Reigns is shining. He's shining in the ring. He's seeing closely facing jobbers. He's putting smile up faces of people because they got what they want, but they just play on for no reason. I think this is gonna Roman Reigns Brock here, and is gonna Roman Reigns. No, I think the Authority's gonna come back. I feel they'll come back before. Yeah.
You know, one thing that I would actually like to see is having you could have they try to make Brock Lesnar like he's part of like the authority, but he's not like part of the authority. You know what I mean? But they're doing his thing in a way like with this whole storyline thing. He shows up every 3 months to get a title shot at, like you said, against John Cena, and then you have Roman Reigns who has never faced Brock Lesnar, and you could have some like tough guy like about his size, because I mean he's really well built, and with his him in magnificent shape and everything, he could take down Brock Lesnar. I mean they're making Brock Lesnar like he's scared of a lot of things. I mean I just hate how he's looking on TV, and then like when Big Show or Mike Henry comes out, he gets surprised, but I just don't like this whole thing. They're making him like he's getting scared, and he's backing away from fights. That's not the Brock Lesnar that I know exactly, but the Brock Lesnar I know is not scared of if fights with anybody. He likes to and likes to just portray himself as being a beast incarnate, because he's a beast incarnate. And like you said, for Roman Reigns in the Rumble, I agree. I think I'd like to see him win the Rumble and facing Brock Lesnar and win the title, because I think Roman Reigns deserves a push. And then when he first started, I mean, hey, when a new guy starts, not every guy gets him a push, and I mean, certain teams they pick out a certain guy in that group, and they think this guy is going to be a big star someday, and they look at him and they watch him fall in the ring, and they say, okay, well, Mr. Reigns, they said, Mr. Reigns, we want you to face Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, and we want you to win. Now, think you can do that for us? I'd say, if I was Reigns, I'd say, hell yeah, I would totally do it. I wouldn't back down from Brock Lesnar, because Brock Lesnar, maybe he's bigger, he may be a little bigger than me. He may say he may be a little tougher than me because he's had a bigger background, but I wouldn't stand down. If I was Reigns, I wouldn't do that, because I know Reigns has that mentality of him, getting to the mindset of everybody and taking down who he can take down, because he was pretty much the strong guy of the Shield, and you have Seth Rollins, who's trying to say, I created the Shield, I'm Mr. Money in the Bank, I can go around and have my J&J security and have him take out any superstar that's on the face, and that night on Raw, SmackDown, whenever main event, I can have the J&J security come out and take out my opponents, because I'm great at what I say and do. I don't think so, Mr. Rollins. I mean, I don't think Rollins with his entire gimmick, he's the same when he's the greatest superstar in the world because he's got money in the bank. He's going to cash it in. So what I'm portraying what's going to happen is Reigns wins the title, and then you have Seth Rollins who comes back and will take out Roman Reigns for the championship. So it's pretty much that. That's what I think may happen, but maybe WWE will take it into a different story.
Yeah. To be honest, in my opinion, I think Seth Rollins created the Shield. When the Shield teased us, we're like, oh, they're gonna break up. Oh, they're gonna break up soon. I hope they break up. That's when people online said they wanted the Shield to break up because they were healed. Look at the fact. Rollins is the glue to the Shield. He helped the Shield stay together as brothers. But you seeing people online sending death threats to Seth Rollins that he should, because he turned his back. Cena, look at Rollins. He deserves a huge push. He barely does high flying moves, but hell, he does a good job. He did a good job at the house show I went. He did a good job to Payback there. And
yeah, I went to that. Good.
I just give him a clap, an applause to him, because he deserves credit for what he's done. the dude split his jaw in his old wrestling in his own wrestling matches. He split his jaw in his old ones, and that's risk. That's risk, and he deserves some credit for that. Yes, Dean Ambrose's mostly the leader and stuff, but they also did a thing like, oh, who's the leader, Dean Ambrose or Roman Reigns? They had Dean Ambrose become the leader, but like, the whole thing where like they had like the Shield versus White family thing. They made Roman Reigns look like he was the leader. And I don't think Roman Reigns deserves to be a leader, even though I think Seth Rollins deserves to be that leader because he's the Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is the power of the Shield. Seth Rollins is the brains, and Dean Ambrose is mostly mostly the brawler of the Shield. Because you see Seth Rollins and just freaking dominating against the wife. You see him again playing the somersault punch on Luke Harper, and then gets in the ring and like suicide dives, freaking Eric Rowan, and freaking does a diving knee on Bray Wyatt. That's like Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan did a whole bunch of stuff like that against the Shield, but that's Daniel Bryan. Seth Rollins, he's been facing guys like Daniel Bryan. He's been facing guys like Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns. You can see that. Check out their FCW matches. He's been facing Kevin Owens, as known as Kevin Steen, Sami Zayn. Seth Rollins been facing a lot of guys like that, and he made it to the top. He made it to the top, to the main roster, and he's main eventing a lot of things. And a lot of people think said he sold out. Yes, he sold out. That's what he was supposed to do. He was supposed to get back on the fans and don't give a crap. He sees CM Punk turn his back on the fans at Raw 1000. Didn't care what people think. CM Punk said he liked being the bad guy. A lot of people said he liked being the bad guy. Randy Orton said he liked being the bad guy and didn't want to turn face at that time against Seth Rollins. Rollins liked being the bad guy. I bet Dean Ambrose liked being the bad guy because he even said he liked being the bad guy. Roman Reigns liked being the bad guy. A lot of people like being the bad guy. Even if I was in a wrestling company, I don't care if it's backyard, indies, promotional wrestling, I would say I like being the bad guy because my guy is pretty much the heel in a video game. And he's like, I won't say he's like fully healed because my guy's more like a tweener. I like being cheered and booed. And let's say Cold Steve Austin, he's pretty healed. Everybody loves him. And like the Rock, some people boo at him even though he's a face, and people cheer for him. I boo at the Rock because he's nothing but a part-time, nothing but the same old jokes, like kiddie jokes, and it's just getting old. John Cena, he's the big face of WWE. You gotta give him credit, and yeah, you can't just turn him heel like that. You just gotta have him be the face of WWE and do his own thing.
Well, it's about midnight. Well, I can say for this podcast was pretty much a success. We had our first interview. You returned back to the show. I know you had some other stuff going on. I understand. It's the holiday. But I mean, I'm glad you had fun with your holiday party. And we have next year's Christmas, so we have about another 12 months to wait. But but I can say for this podcast, we can say that we did an excellent job. So, I mean, we've done a lot, dude. We have pretty much we took the ball and we ran with it on this show. And who cares what people say if we need to write stuff down? I mean, you know, who cares if we need to say that, you know, how about you need to plan stuff out? Well, you know what? A lot of people who wing things, they do a pretty good job. So, well, I think this is a pretty good stop for an ending. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm doing. Yeah, this is good. If you don't like podcast night, you might as well deal with it or take a Superman punch to the mouth.
Or get an F5 by Brock Lesnar, or AA by John Cena. So if you hate us, don't watch us. Go watch another show that's more famous than us. So if you Antonio, it's okay, because you know what? Not every person on the internet is loved or hated. You know what? I got one person who said only one of my videos, dude, your video is a complete waste of time. What you really shouldn't have made this video at all. I replied to him like, oh my god, dude, I'm just trying to make a video here just because of my channel. I don't want to have to deal with all this bullshit. I'm on YouTube because I like being on YouTube, and heck, I've actually got almost 10,000 views. Like, I'm just right on the corner of 10,000 views now, and I can't believe I've gone that far with not many people having to complain about my work, because a lot of people think my work is very, very good. So,
yeah, I'm on like 1,000 views.
You're at 1,000?
Yep.
Congratulations. That's a mile marker there. Congratulations. That's when I first got 1,000, I was like, yes, congratulations. You've taken it. So that's a start. I just need the 10,000, and I'm not taking credit for anybody else's work. I do my own work my own way, and you do you may do your work your own way. So I don't take credit from too many other people, because other people put too many things. I may comment on certain things, but I don't have to. I don't go out and just make fun of people's work, because if someone did a good job, if the video sucked, I really wouldn't complain it sucked. I would just say, hey, just get out the video.
What I do.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I really appreciate the people who have taken time to be here, and for Curtis Reed, who was here earlier tonight with for a quick interview, to stop by. So, round of applause for Curtis Reed. So anyway, well, our next podcast will be the 31st of December. We will be heading to the end of the year, to 2015. I can't believe I just can't believe the year's almost over. We're going to be doing a countdown to 2015 for a podcast show. We will be heading there pretty soon. That's next week. So I can't wait. That's going to be fun. We're going to be doing some of the best moments of 2014, and best moments of we'll talk about best moments of wrestling, best moments of our lives, and things like that. So we'll make sure the last episode of podcast tonight, 2014, will be a great show. So thank you everyone for joining in tonight, and we'll see you guys next week for the last show of 2014. So anything else you want to say, Antonio?
I'd like to say, hope y'all have a Christmas, and hope.
Alright, well, everyone who has been sticking with us for the past part of the year, I really appreciate it, and we'll see you guys next week for the final show. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment, and we'll see you guys next week. See ya!